I have a private coaching business where I help naturally quiet people overcome social anxiety, play to their strengths, and thrive in life. How do you beat anxiety, procrastination, emotional blockages? It's discipline. That's how you beat it. May not be the answer that you want to hear. You might want to hear a gimmick, a shortcut, a trick, a workaround, but discipline is how you beat that anxiety and procrastination. Running is amazing for building confidence. I'm going to go for a run shortly after this live stream. Before going for a run, there's some inner resistance that everybody feels. A tension, an anticipation, some apprehension. And your mind might play tricks on you. It might say, why not just skip the run today? You could watch a film instead. You could eat some Cheetos. You could just chill where it's nice and warm rather than go outside and potentially get soaked. It might even rain. The excuses kick in. When you step beyond that inner resistance and you do the run, it's never as bad as your mind made out, that worst case scenario horror story that our brains create. And afterwards, you feel glad that you've been for a run. Motivation kicks in after you've taken action. That's the first thing to realize. Motivation doesn't come before action taken. It comes after taking action. And when you beat that inner resistance by going for a morning run, what happens is it's now easier to beat that inner resistance throughout the day whenever it pops up. You'll notice yourself being more productive at work, finding it easier to consciously choose to avoid unhealthy foods and get your diet right. You might find the motivation to go to a couple of social groups per week, join a community, and start to socialize with other people in person, push your comfort zone, and build real world confidence. You don't get real world confidence without the real world experience. And when you feel super motivated, it's a lot easier to get that experience that you really need. So overcoming inner resistance in all forms. This is how you build momentum, feel great, and perform at your most confident best. This is discipline. And I view discipline like a muscle. Imagine a guy who goes to the gym on a regular basis and he puts those curls in. Done them for a long time, and now he can do sets with 30 kilogram dumbbells. To a guy like that, picking up 10 kilogram dumbbells and doing curls, it will feel easy. It'll feel light. But there's still some resistance there. It's still noticeable. It's like that with discipline. When you've become more disciplined over time, regular action taking, consistency, it's easier to maintain discipline. In the future, it might not feel like a big deal to you to get up at 7 and do a 5 kilometer community run and come back on a Saturday morning. That might feel normal to you. It'll feel easy to eat healthy over time as well. But still, there's always a level of inner resistance. Maybe it feels like that 10 kilogram dumbbell to you as somebody that can lift the 30 kilograms for that exercise. So over time, it feels easier, but there's still always that inner resistance. And so basically the bad news is that the inner resistance will never go away 100%. Part of me would like to tell you that it will go away, but I'd be being a bad coach and lying to you, and down the line, you'd complain and you'd say, Phil, that inner voice of resistance, that inner blockage is still there. But the good news is that with practice, consistency, and continuously beating that inner resistance, it does get a lot easier over time, and it doesn't feel like a big blockage. It feels like a small hurdle rather than a big hurdle. And just like if you go into a car, you have to turn the key to ignite the engine and really start the car. You have to do the same with yourself. You have to beat the inner resistance in order to be in that state where you're no longer in neutral or first gear. You can get yourself into the gear you need to be at to be productive and live your best life. Of course, there's a place for rest and recovery, but rest and recovery is actually more enjoyable and feels great when you've been productive. Just like if you've exercised and you've waited until you feel super hungry, food tastes amazing. Leisure time and rest feels great when you've really been disciplined and put the honest hard work in. There's no shortcuts in life, gimmicks, workarounds. The way to get results is to put the honest hard work in consistently over time. You already know how to build confidence. You don't need me to teach you that. You know in your heart, you know already in your mind that if you was to take up running, do strength training, get your diet right, go to socials, practice putting yourself out there more, work on your boundaries with people, tidy your room, get organized, you know that would lead to more confidence. You know that doing public speaking would make you more confident. The information's already out there. The challenge is getting yourself to actually do that day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. That's the challenge. The challenge isn't a knowledge challenge. It's simple what you have to do. It's intellectually simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. So it's simple and difficult. The difficult bit is overcoming that inner resistance, stepping outside of your comfort zone and actually doing it. And this is why I recommend all my clients and people at my events, I recommend that they do some cardio, preferably in the morning, although it doesn't matter necessarily what time of day. But the reason why I like morning cardio is that you've beat that inner resistance early. And probably that voice, the inner critic, the voice that shames you, the shadow, and whatever you want to call it, the inner bully, imposter syndrome, the inner demons. In most people, it tends to be loudest and most aggressive in the morning. And beating that inner resistance in the morning, it just sets the tone for a good day. And over time, the momentum, you're really, really going to feel it and you're going to notice it. So a guy that I coached yesterday, Gregory, so he was telling me that by going to all these different socials and going to the gym and taking this action, he's noticed that when he meets up with his family, his parents, brothers, sisters, aunts, his uncles, all these different people, he's actually speaking more often than he used to speak. He's finding it easier to join in conversations. He feels more open. And he's earned this through putting the honest hard work in. The discipline and consistency has led to these changes, where someone who was once the most quiet person in the room is now more confident, is now finding it easier to speak and put himself out there. And when you know the path to developing more confidence and improving your life, you can take it as far as you want to take it. There really isn't any limits, but just like going to the gym and building muscle, it's something that's going to take time. It's not overnight. There isn't any gimmick out there, but it is possible, say in the space of 3 months to 3 years. It's possible for anybody to go from being the most quiet person, the most shy, the most socially awkward person, to someone who is notably standout confident, someone who has great people skills. So anyone can transform in that time frame, just like anybody could build a significant amount of muscle in that time frame if that was their goal and they put the work in. What stops people getting the results is usually the inner resistance, the emotions that get in the way, the blockages. Starting a habit like a New Year's resolution, keeping it up for 3 months and then dropping off. Deprioritizing. When life throws a challenge, people often respond by stopping doing the things that have already been helping them. But the best response to a challenge is to keep on doing those things and find ways to get even better. As someone else on YouTube says, don't get bitter, get better. When challenges come, it's all about how you respond to it. There's always a way to grow, to learn and get better, providing that that's your mindset. Often they're a blessing in disguise, but only if you allow them to be. The only way to fail is to choose to fail. If you choose to win, you go for that plan A, you just go for it, keep on taking action, you will make progress. And then the only way you can stop is if you choose to stop. And this is why the discipline really helps, because when you have a lot of discipline, it's easier to continue than stop. And you trust yourself. You know that whatever challenges could get thrown your way, you're not going to sabotage. You're going to keep moving forwards. You can handle your triggers, the situations that make you scared, situations that make you panic, bring up painful emotions. You can handle them. And with the discipline and action taking, what happens is when you face a trigger and then at some point in the future, you reface that same trigger, what you'll realize is that the second time you face it, it doesn't affect you as much as the first time. Then the third time you face it, it's not affecting you as much as the second time. In other words, each round that you have with your triggers, when you have the discipline and you take action and you don't let it beat you, you keep moving forwards. Each round, the trigger affects you less than the previous round. So it is possible to get significantly better at handling your triggers. And handling your triggers, probably the best secret to personal growth out there, if there was a secret. If you're not scared of past emotions being brought up, you overcome stuff that might have happened to you in high school or as a younger child. If you've overcome painful incidents and you're not afraid of re-experiencing, you're going to be so much more open and so much more confident. And also, you're going to be carrying yourself a lot lighter in life rather than heavy. And actually, having discipline and taking action regularly, it does make you feel lighter. And it's like you feel like you have less emotional baggage. Still feel your emotions and face them. Don't avoid them. Don't abandon yourself. Be present with your emotions and what's going on internally, but don't let that stop you living the best life. As my mentor used to always say to me, you can't go by your emotions if you want to be successful. You've got to take action, regardless of how you feel. Turn up, take action, do the right thing. And over time, you'll realize that you can actually handle whatever's there. You can handle your emotions and make progress. They're not going to stop you. Only you can stop you. But that inner strength, that comes from disciplined action taking. To throw out another point as well, that's just come to mind. We have this ability to choose our actions in life. That we can consciously choose what we want to do. We can make decisions. And when you stop drifting along with the currents in life, you stop being led by other people, living off their agendas and scripts, and you start being yourself. You develop more free will. You feel more free to make your choices and live your life rather than live someone else's or try to please your parents, which is what a lot of people do. So every single time you choose to take the right action and you do it, you gain power. It's like you gain freedom in your mind and you gain that strength that you're on your purpose, living your life. So you gain that power of consciousness, less ruled by other people. You're a king in your own reality, and everybody can live life this way. It's a lot nicer. So I hope that by doing more regular live streams, I'm going to do regular shorts, longs, pictorial posts, all these different things. I hope that I can inspire you in real time to take up running, go to the gym, go to socials, organize your life, and keep on chipping away at the anxiety, build that discipline, and get more confident. So if you got value from this live stream and you want regular motivational videos, live streams, other live streams, long format, short format pictures, in-person events, all these things, subscribe to my channel and I'll keep on putting stuff out there. If you're struggling with motivation getting started and you want somebody to help hold you accountable, help you join the gym, help you come out of your shell and get more confident, you want someone to act like a personal trainer for confidence and people skills, send me an email. You can find my email on the homepage of my channel, and I run free in-person events every single month for this purpose. I also offer each new person a maximum of one free one-to-one coaching session where I can help you out with this stuff. So if this interests you, send an email and you will feel more motivated after having an important, crucial conversation. Hope that you have a great rest of your day and take some action.